Hi everyone, my name is Victoria and this is my Community in Words and Pictures assignment. So the community that I did is, my whole county, which is Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. And you can see it on this little map here. So I picked to do my entire county just because I have connections to several different areas amongst the county in terms of where I live, where I work, places that I frequent, where my family lives, and then I put some pictures at the bottom of some different places that that are meaningful to me in my community, including my house, my work, my church, and then, a place that I like to go shopping. So just a little bit about Montgomery County. It is located in the southeastern region of Pennsylvania, just northwest of Philadelphia County. The county seat of Montgomery County is Norristown, Pennsylvania. It's where the courthouse, human services office, and a lot of other agencies that serve the entire county are located. Montgomery County is the third largest county in Pennsylvania in terms of population, having over 860,000 citizens. And the only two counties that beat Montgomery County were Philadelphia and Allegheny counties, and they both have a major city being Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Talking about demographics within the county, so this chart here kind of shows a breakdown in race, and I was actually very surprised by this. I think of the county as being very diverse. I did know that, it is a majority of the people are white. However, I did not know that the majority was kind of by this much. And then this chart over here talks about the age range of people within the county as well. Just some more demographics. According to the census, the data on sex from the 2020 census shows that there are approximately 422,000 males in Montgomery County and about 439,000 females in Montgomery County. According to the 2020 census, 64.8% of people in Montgomery County are employed. According to the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Planning and Evaluation, the federal poverty level for a family of four is anything below $26,500. The United States Census Bureau shows that about 6.6 to 7% of families in Montgomery County, PA are making less than that. The mean household income in Montgomery County is $137,331. Over 94% of Montgomery County residents over the age of 25 have at least a high school diploma or GED. 28.2% of people have a bachelor's degree, and 21.5% have a degree higher than a bachelor's degree, like a graduate or doctorate or something like that. 68.8% of the population is ages 3 to 24 is in school. 18.4% is in undergraduate. 7.5% is in preschool, and 7.2% is in a graduate or professional degree program. Talking about some of the important institutions in Montgomery County, according to Public School Review, Montgomery County is one of the highest collections of top-ranked public schools in Pennsylvania. Within the county, there are 157 public schools and 219 private schools. There are also 42 colleges and universities in Montgomery County. And then also there was a list of 100 best employers in Pennsylvania. 3 Montgomery County employers made the list, and they were Addington School District, Icon, and UGI. And then, according to Niche, some of the largest employers in Montgomery County are Meraki, Toll Brothers, and the Vanguard Group. And then there are about 22 hospitals in Montgomery County, PA, according to the Hospital Montgomery County Emergency Medical Care. And then according to Best Regional Hospitals and Rankings by U.S. News, 3 of Montgomery County's hospitals were in the top 20 hospitals in the state, coming in at 6th place, 13th place, and 17th place out of over 200 hospitals across the state. This picture here is a picture of the county assistance office in Montgomery County, which is where somebody would go to apply for SNAP, medical assistance, anything like that. And then there's also an Office of Health and Human Services, and that includes resources and support for people in all different areas, specifically crisis services, LGBTQ plus services, public health, veterans resources, and so much more. This photo here is a screenshot that I took from the Montgomery County, PA website. This shows all the different departments in Montgomery County, and this can be found at mountcopa.org. These are some maps that I found. This one shows kind of where Montgomery County is located in Pennsylvania, and then this one is kind of like a close-up zoom in of Montgomery County. Okay, so starting the Good Community Assessment to talk about safety. So this link that I included here is a website where you can go, and there's an interactive map that can show you the locations of fire companies, hospitals, EMS, trails, and more things. And I just thought that it was a really valuable safety resource. One of the other things that the article talked about was natural disasters. That doesn't happen a lot, but back in 2021, we did have a hurricane that really kind of affected a lot of the county. There was some flash flooding from the Schuylkill River, and there was a lot of damage, but the response from the county and other agencies, the Red Cross, the federal government even, was really great. And then according to the page Montgomery County, PA Violent Crime Rates and Maps, Montgomery County is in the 86th percentile for safety, meaning that only 14% of U.S. counties are safer than Montgomery County. Also, the crime rate is about 1.7 per 1,000 people, which is considered lower than average for a U.S. county. In terms of goods and services, so this image over here to the right shows a graph from Feeding America, where the green demonstrates the population of Montgomery County residents who struggle with food insecurity, which is approximately 7%. And then the U.S. Department of Agriculture, their Atlas map shows areas that are considered to be food deserts or, not sustainably close to a grocery store or food. There were really not many areas in Montgomery County where that was an issue. And then Montgomery County also has a lot of major shopping hubs like malls, especially the King Prussia Mall, which is one of the biggest malls in the country. And then, as previously discussed, there are also just a lot of places to seek employment in Montgomery County. So the Ohio State University article talks about relationships between community members that make a community good. I really feel like this answer could be different for everybody. For me, I feel like there's a lot of ways to be involved in the community where I live, and then also, I have a good relationship with my neighbors where I know them and I get along with them, but not to the extent that, we're in each other's business or anything like that, or that we fight or anything like that. So I feel like it is a good balance. Talking about the commonality of values and goals, I think that throughout the county there are a lot of differences among citizens. However, I feel that diversity is one of the things that the community values. If I drive within 5 minutes of my house, I could find several different religious buildings, religious organizations, restaurants that serve cuisine from different countries. You see different kinds of flags, different traditional decor. So I do feel like it is very blended. And then on top of that also, I feel like there are a lot of areas in Montgomery County where people are really financially stable, and then there are some areas where a lot of people are not financially stable. And I think it's really good that you will see people coming from, their communities where they're, doing well financially to help those people who are not doing well. And then in terms of the whole person principle, it talks about settlement and everything like that. I've lived in Montgomery County my whole life. And I stay here because I like it, not because I have to. And then in terms of treating people as a whole, I definitely feel like, as can be with anywhere, there has been instances where people were not always treated right. But I've also seen the community come together and, protest things and be given that space to protest and make our voices heard. I generally think that nothing is really predictable, but I do think that there are things about my community that I just know. So, like, I know the other dogs in my neighborhood. I know what time the Starbucks I go to every day opens. I know where the school bus stops are on my way to work. I know that certain things take place each year at a specific time of the year. So I guess you would say that those things are predictable. As far as having a recognized place in the social structure, I think when I'm talking about a county, that's, a lot larger of an area. And so the place in the social structure is not going to be as obvious. However, I do think that if I focused on a smaller community, you could definitely say that there's places in the social structure. In terms of talking about opportunities, it kind of brings me back to the website with all the different departments and everything. It just kind of shows like all of the things that are important to people in Montgomery County, to the extent that they made a department about them. And there are a lot of things. So then the last one was homogeneity. And I was surprised when I read the racial breakdowns because I really thought that it was more diverse than it actually is. In terms of homogeneity, there are a lot of things that I don't agree with that, but, one thing that I can kind of see is like, not kind of like staying in the same area with people of the same, like similar, like status or socioeconomic status as you. And the specific example that I think of is that there's a place in my neighborhood where all the houses look exactly the same. They're all like very modest, like 1-story houses, and somebody bought a plot of land in that neighborhood, knocked the house down, and built a legitimate like multi-million-dollar castle. And it made all of the other houses look even smaller. And then when the guy wanted to sell it, nobody who wanted to pay him millions of dollars for a house wanted to buy it because they wanted to buy a house in a neighborhood with other people who had million-dollar houses. So just in conclusion, after assessing those 9 elements that make a good community, I do feel that I live in a good community. It's not perfect, might not be the ideal, but I feel it's relatively safe. People have access to what they need. People have opportunities to grow, and everyone has a place, and everyone values each other.